friends, come on in, take your shoes off, have a seat, and consider staying a while by clicking that subscribe button. So this is obviously going to be a series on my channel, and I have no idea how many episodes will be in this series. Actually having a hard time filming this video because I don't really know what's going on with my body. I'm at the beginning stages of figuring it out, and I have no idea what it could be. So as hard as it is to document this, I want to because I know someday I'm going to want to look back on this. I want to start by taking you guys to the very beginning of my story just so you have a better understanding of like what I'm going through right this second. And I just also want to give a disclaimer that this is going to be obviously a fertility story. There might be some TMIs in here, so if that gets you squeamish, I would click out now. I got my menstrual cycle around, I want to say 11 or 12 years old, and ever since I got my menstrual cycle, it came at the same time every month. It was the same length, 7 days. It was like clockwork. It was the same flow. I was never late. I never had any type of issue whatsoever with my monthly menstrual cycle. I had a career in law enforcement for 4 years, so I had a very high stressed job. I worked under a horrible management that did not care about its officers. We were always understaffed, which added to being super stressed out in a super dangerous environment. And the last year of my career in law enforcement, I was planning a wedding around really big family drama. The time I began law enforcement until the time I quit law enforcement, I gained 81 pounds. And I knew my weight was an issue, but I never expected it to affect me in the ways that it has. If you're new here and you don't know, I started this channel tracking my health and fitness journey. I still do that, and I am really starting, I feel like, to figure that part of my life out. But if you would also like to follow that part of my journey, because it does link into this one, I post a video every Sunday tracking that. Last year in November, so November 2019, I actually was 2 weeks late on my menstrual cycle, and me and Michael got really excited because we thought we were pregnant. We weren't trying, but ever since we got married, I went off my birth control because I just never wanted to tell God no. Like, if he was ready to bless us with a baby, like, we had good jobs, we had a house, like, I just felt like we were always stable enough to welcome a child into this world if God wanted to allow it. I had seen a lot of my family members either have miscarriages or have trouble getting pregnant, and I just never wanted to miss an opportunity to have a baby, because I've always known that I want to be a mom. So like I said, Michael and I weren't on any sort of protection, and we did not get pregnant for a year. And so we got super excited when I thought that I was pregnant. And then unfortunately, a few days later, I got my period. This was a really hard time because going into Christmas 2019, my sister announced that she was pregnant with her second child. And although we were super excited to welcome in our little niece, and she's actually almost 4 months now, we were also pretty heartbroken just because we thought we were pregnant that month. And it was hard to watch the joy and the excitement for my sister when, you know, like, we thought we would be announcing that, which, again, I don't want it to be misconstrued that we love our niece. Like, we were so happy for my sister. She had been trying for a year to get pregnant again, and yeah, like, I don't want to come off as like I wasn't excited about it. And I hope that you guys can kind of look at it from the standpoints of, like, as excited as we were, you know, like we were also grieving that we weren't pregnant. Almost a year later now, looking back at that situation, I'm actually kind of glad that we weren't, because, you know, it'll be our first pregnancy, and like, I'm glad that we'll be able to someday have that time where it's just focused on our pregnancy. And I'm glad that we had the time to focus on my sister's second pregnancy and enjoy this new life that God gave us. But on Christmas Day last year, I actually ended up in the emergency room. So the day started out normal, like I felt fine. We actually stayed the night at my parents' house that night, so it's not like we had like a long drive or anything. We woke up, we had breakfast, and then around 11 a.m., I started feeling like really crampy. It felt like period cramps, which I was like, oh great, because like my period was late. So I was like, from last month, so I was like, am I gonna get a second period? And over the course of the next like 45 minutes, these cramps got excruciating. Like they were so painful. Like I didn't know what was happening. They were like, I literally couldn't stand up. So like and I didn't want to ruin Christmas because my little nephew was there and my sister had just announced all this. Like everyone was super excited. I didn't want to ruin it. So I actually went into my parents' room and I was just like double over their bed in pain. Like I could not stand up. And finally, obviously everyone's like, where did I go? So they came and found me. And after about 20 minutes of me just crying and not being able to stand up, my husband was finally like, okay, enough is enough. We're going to go into the emergency room because we didn't know what else to do at that point. And I was really scared. I didn't know what was wrong. Did a bunch of different scans on me, just trying to figure out what was wrong. Their main concern was because I had said that my period was so abnormal the month before, it wasn't as heavy as what it usually is, and it was late. They were concerned that I had had an ectopic pregnancy, which is where instead of the baby planting in your belly, it plants in the fallopian tubes, and 99% of the time the baby and the mother end up dying from that. So that was their main concern, was making sure it wasn't that, and that came back clear, so that was good. But then they found that I had a bunch of cysts that were on my ovaries that were bursting, which although they're very painful, they told me it was very common. After this whole episode at the hospital, I did not get my period for 4 months. I finally got it, and then I didn't get my period again for another 5 months, and I finally got it last month in October for the first time. So that was good. It kind of showed me again that I'm just kind of moving in the right direction with my weight loss and getting eating down and like eating what I need for my body to thrive. I started talking to my OBGYN, and I actually see a midwife through my OBGYN. I like her, and they both started to suspect that I might have PCOS, which would explain why I have gained weight so much, because obesity is a side effect. Insulin resistant is actually a side effect, which I just got diagnosed with this last year as well. Also explain why I haven't obviously had a normal menstrual cycle. Because of COVID and like everything going on with rioting and stuff in our city, I didn't want to go out to our hospital because that's where all the tests and stuff, like my OBGYN clinic's actually there because our hospital is ginormous. And they, like, I didn't want to go there because I didn't want to like put myself in that. So they said they understood, and they said that was actually like smart just because it was getting bad around that area. And they told me just to really focus on losing weight and getting healthy, because they really think that my weight gain is the issue. And so right now it's just kind of a waiting game, and for a time for me to really put in the effort to lose the weight so that I can see, is it my weight or is it something more serious than like having PCOS. So that is where I'm at right now in this journey, is just trying to lose weight. And I also am tracking my ovulation. I bought a period calendar, which it's called my prickly days, which I thought that was so funny because I'm like, yeah, it's really how you feel when you're on your period. So I am not only tracking my period, our sexual activity, but also I am testing for ovulation, and I am writing down the days I test and if I have an LH surge or not. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I don't really know where this journey is going. I don't really know like what's going on with my body and everything, and how long this will take to figure out. I kind of feel like everything is up in the air right now, but like I said, I know I'm gonna want to look back on this and like track my journey just like I'm tracking my weight loss journey, and I think these two things might be going hand in hand, and that might help somebody else out there. And obviously I'm hoping that it's not something more serious, that I can correct this with losing weight. but I guess, you know, we're just gonna have to wait and see. At the end of the day, I know it's all in God's hands, and I am just anxiously awaiting to see what his plan is. This will be a series on my channel. I will update you guys anytime with a video when I get more information, or like when I feel like something is important to track, but that's pretty much, like I said, that's where I'm at right now. Thank you so much for tuning in and just taking time out of your day to hear about my story. If you like this video, please just stop for a second, give this video a big thumbs up. It's free. It only takes a second and it really helps my channel out. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. That helps my channel out as well. If you would like to continue tracking my journey on either weight loss or our fertility journey, please hit that subscribe button, making sure that you turn your notification bell on, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Bye.